Hi, Lisa Workman here. So many people ask me about Nordic walking poles, and so I thought I'd take this opportunity to share with you sort of the anatomy of a Nordic walking pole. So I have a couple sets of pairs here, a variety of brands as well, and I'll walk you through sort of like the differences between the different types of poles and really what are essentially all the same with every single pole. So I'll start with these red poles here. These are with the brand Exel. And so they are a fixed Nordic walking pole. So what that means is that it is a fixed length. You cannot change it. So for example, this set is 105 centimeters. So that's how far they are from the ground, and that is all that they are. They cannot be changed. So we have a fixed pole system here. We have also this pair of Leki poles, which are telescopic. And so they will open and they will close and they will change length with simply twisting the bottom part of the pole and moving the pole to the desired length. So really nice. Lots of poles have the written number on them to show you sort of the length, but essentially they move forward and back and make the distance either shorter or longer. So these are a pair of Leki ones. And then here on my other side, I have Urban Poles by Urban Poling. And they also are a telescopic pair that moves, makes them bigger or smaller. So that's another brand of Urban Poling. And they also have a set of pair of poles called the Activator. And the Activator uses this key lock system where you would actually find where the little lock is and you would lock your height in place. So it simply clicks in. If I can find the clicking, should be here somewhere. If you heard that click, that is what's clicking in, and it would be a fixed position and much more secure than probably a telescopic aspect of a pole, because this is going to be secure and locked into place. So again, these are from Urban Poling. So that's kind of the first part of a pole to look at, whether you want something that is fixed or telescopic or locks in place. That would be probably the first thing to look for. The next thing that you might notice is actually the handles and the differences between all the different brands in their handles. So for example, on the Exel pair, you're going to have some straps that are affixed to the handle. They have Velcro to secure around your hand. So this would be an example of a handle with a strap. What you will also see on this handle is a bit of a lip on that handle. So a bit of an ergonomic handle to allow the hand to rest on this sort of shelf. With the Leki pair, they have a different sort of system. They have the grips or the straps as well. But with regards to the straps, they actually can be taken off. So as you are pulling, there's a button at the top. You press that down and that would then release the strap from the actual pole. So that's kind of interesting how that happens. Just another feature that's out there. And then you can see with their handle, it's not really necessarily an ergonomic handle. It's just sort of flush with the pole. So there isn't much of a handle. So different technologies, different benefits. This one has the release that will release the strap from the pole. With the Urban Poling poles, they have their ergonomic handle with quite a substantial shelf here. So as your hand is resting on that shelf, you could pretty much place your whole outer side of your hand, on the pinky side of your hand, onto that shelf. So you will also notice with the Urban Poling poles is they do not have straps. So there is no straps on these poles at all. So the idea behind it was that thumb dislocation was the most common injury with Nordic walking, and so Urban Poling opted not to put straps on their poles. Instead, they actually made quite a substantial ergonomic handle. So that would be probably the next thing to look for when wanting to use a set of Nordic walking poles. If you want, what type of hand grip you get. So is there straps? Is it an ergonomic handle? How does it feel in your hands? And that ergonomic handle does play a role in how we use our poles. So it's something to definitely consider. The other piece that's slightly different between each brand of pole is the type of booty that's on the bottom. So for the Exel, it has sort of this boot of sorts, but it's not super chunky or hardy. It's quite smooth. Then you look at the Leki, and it has quite a bit more grip on the bottom and relatively small surface area on the bottom. And then you look at the Urban Poling poles, and it's a real substantial booty. So you get a lot of surface area and quite a bit of a substantial boot on the bottom of these poles. And then the Activator pole is an exception. It has a different type of bottom. So it has a bell tip. So if you can see that sort of tip here, it is going to be one that is very similar to a cane and has a very large surface area. So for some people that need a lot of support, this bell tip is really helpful, but it is another option on our Nordic walking poles. The next piece, so not just the rubber booties, is also the tip. And so pretty consistent between all the different brands is some form of tip at the end, so like a carbide tip at the end that's going to go into potentially the ground or the grass, so much so that mine's a little dirty, so I just got a little dirt on my hands. You see with the Exel, if I release, it's more of a sort of straight, very flush with the pole, very clean, straight lines with the Leki poles. And then with the Urban Poling poles, we've got a carbide tip here, also quite straight and in line with the pole. Same thing on the Activator as is on the Urban Poling Series 300 pole. So things to consider then, just to review, is what type of pole would you like? What kind of handle or straps would you like on your pole? What kind of bottom tip do you want on the bottom of the pole? As well as what is the underneath that rubberized booty pole, or underneath that rubber tip, there's also kind of a carbide tip. So something that can actually go into gravel or grass or any ground that's gonna absorb the pole a little bit. Those are kind of the key pieces of things that you wanna know about your Urban Poling poles or your Nordic walking poles. So in terms of other features, there are attachments that come onto your pole. And so for example, on the Urban Poling poles, you're gonna see this sort of round disc. These are snow baskets. So they're really functional out in the snow. If you're snowshoeing, for example, then this would absorb into the snow and the tip wouldn't completely vanish into the snow. So that also is an accessory that you can add to your poles. So essentially, you need to find the right fit for what pole is best for you in terms of what are the features that you're looking for, what is available. Maybe you already have a set of pair of poles and now you have a better understanding of what are the features that your poles will provide to you. So I hope this video is helpful for you to go over the anatomy of a Nordic walking pole. Again, brands that you saw in this video are Exel, Leki, and Urban Poling. If you have any questions, do let me know. You can shoot me an email at info@lisaworkman.com. Again, this was Lisa Workman giving you the anatomy of a Nordic walking pole.